Hi guys, I showed you this little electric car I picked up in a charity shop for 50p. I think it's one of those ones that go on the FlexiTracks. Certainly looks like the same sort of thing. It's got two front LEDs. Oh, turn it on then we can see it. Right, two LEDs at the front, two LEDs at the back. An electric motor that drives the back wheels through a gear change. Gear train. That's the right word. I did have a question on one. Somebody was having trouble getting the LEDs working. I don't really know what I can say other than check the LEDs are wired up, that they haven't come loose. Try a battery directly on the LEDs to make sure they light up. But that brings on an interesting little point. You may or may not have noticed when I actually did the original video, this runs on a single AA battery. And if you know anything about LEDs, you'll know that they don't run on a single AA battery. 1.5 volts is not enough to light a white LED. It might, if you're lucky, light a red LED at the back, but I'm just interested to know how it's actually lighting up those LEDs. There must be a little circuit board in there. If we can get this one apart. Come on. Got fat fingers in the way. Okay, so that's the front axle in there. I did say at the time I was going to have to take it apart because it looks like there's hair caught in the back axle, so we'll see if we can have a look at that anyway. I'll just check they are the same size screws, so it won't matter if I get them mixed together. I didn't actually get it apart, did it? Okay, looks like we've got to go right in there and undo that one, which feels like it's broken anyway. That one is a longer screw. Okay, I'll have to remember that. Yeah, that was broken on the back end. Right, so what can we see? Well, straight away we can see what I'm talking about. There's a little circuit board there. Must be some sort of is it boost converter, boost and buck? I can never remember which one's which. One steps the voltage up and one steps the voltage down. Well, clearly this one must be stepping the voltage up, because we've got 1.5 volts from the battery. It's going through there, and that is enough to light 4 LEDs. And also yeah, it's also running the motor, obviously. I might get my USB microscope so we can get a really close-up look of that bit of circuitry. I'll zoom in with this camera, but I don't think we'll get in close enough to see enough detail. I think we can see well enough with this camera. I don't know if I can point anything out. Well, I don't need to really. There's a couple of transistors on there, surface mount. I can't quite read what's written on them. I think one's got Y1 on it, possibly. I can see there's a couple of resistors next to it. I can see one is 274. I can't quite read the other one. A couple of capacitors. Those are those sort of cream little blobs. Can I do this without getting too much shadow on? So transistor, transistor, resistor, resistor, capacitor, capacitor. Is that a diode? Don't know. Then on the other side, we can turn it over without losing the focus. We've got an inductor. I can't quite make the colours out on that. It looks like yellow, black. Is it yellow, black, brown, or yellow, black? No, I can't quite make out that third colour. Starting from the end, it's got a yellow on it. So that's some sort of boost converter, boosting the voltage up to enough for the LEDs to light. Right, that'll do for that bit. We'll zoom out again. So, back out again. So battery box, positive goes down to the off switch and then up to the motor and also to this circuit board. Negative is that yellow wire to the motor and also this blue wire going to the circuit board. And then two white wires are going away to the LEDs. And then two red wires are coming back. Where do they come back? They come back to there. And then go into the red LEDs at the back are these yellow wires. Well, that's interesting, just thinking about that. Why are they going back to different places? Is it because they need different voltages for the yellow, that's for the red and the white LEDs? Just a thought. Or is it the way this is working? Is it doing a sine wave and the white LEDs are working off in one direction because you've got the diode across it, and the red LEDs are working in the opposite direction? That's just guessing. That's not trying to be clever. Just a wild guess. My other guess is it's just different voltages. No, I don't know. Assuming that that is a diode, that sort of browny coloured thing with a black end on it, which makes you think it's a diode, then one set of LEDs is off one side of that, and the other set of LEDs are off the other side of that diode. That's what I reckon. If we turn it on, if we can actually see this. I've got so many lights on, let's darken it a little bit. Yeah, we can see the white LEDs at this end and the red LEDs at that end, and the motor running. So yeah, that's it. I don't know if I can get that out with just you've probably got to pull the wheel off, to be honest, to get the bits of hair out. I suppose while we're here we can just look. We've got pinion gear on the shaft of the motor, driving the crown gear, which is one that has the teeth sticking out sideways. There, on the back of the crown gear, there's another smaller gear that is driving that green gear. That green gear's got another smaller gear on the other side of it, has it? No, it hasn't. It's just driving straight onto that one. So that one to the green gear are about the same gears, but then we've got smaller gear there, bigger gear, and then smaller gear onto the pinion gear on the motor. Enough light now to see that. Right, well, I will try and get that wheel off so I can get the hair out of it. It's wrapped around the axle. Now I'll just put it back together. Well, I am going to have to go just a little bit further with the disassembly. I didn't want to, but I am. The hair that I've got out so far is purple, which is unusual. But to get the rest of it out, I'm going to have to take the motor off. I think that just unclips now. There's little clips. There we go. Motor out. So that's the crown gear I was on about. A bit of hair on it. That's the next gear. That one, oh no, that has got a little bit of hair in it. Not too bad. And down in there, on the back of the axle, I can see hair. If I zoomed in on this, my hands would be in the way, so you're going to have to watch it from a distance. Still got to try and mend that broken bit of plastic as well. Although that only holds the body in place, which probably isn't that important. When you do things like this, the wires start dropping off because they're thin wires. Okay, so it was the green one, was the next one in the group. In there. And the white one. Like that. That's the battery terminal. That one goes in there. Oh, that's alright, just knocked the camera. A bit more hair in there, get that out. That back in there and see if it still works. Yeah. That's a lead weight. Well, it's not lead, but it's heavy. That was in there to balance the car and keep it on the ground. And those LEDs just push down in there somehow. Oh, I was going to try and sort out that bit of plastic. Probably can't do much about that. I'll put some super glue on it, but that very rarely works. All back together. I used super glue and baking powder to relocate the broken bit of plastic. Super glue glues it, and the baking powder builds up rather like concrete around it to give it a bit of strength. You might just be able to see the whiteness of the baking powder in there. It forms a well, it has a chemical reaction with the super glue, and so it goes a bit like concrete in there. So that's all back together. Switch on. Red lights at the back, white lights at the front. Obviously some of the bodywork's been broken off in the past. And that's all it does, it just goes on and on and on. On the FlexiTrack, the track guides it and it just keeps going round and round. And they are quite powerful. They go up hills and, well, up slopes and so on. But I gave all my FlexiTrack away, gave it all back to a different charity shop, so I can't demonstrate it. Still, that was a little bonus, that, finding the little circuit board inside that runs the LEDs. Because a single AA battery is not enough. Thanks for watching. You'll find more information down in the video description. You might like to watch that video up there, and you might like to subscribe over there.